without wasting any time, let's get straight into learning how to actually grapple jump. In this video, I'm gonna break down how to grapple jump into multiple steps so that it's as easy for you guys to learn as possible. And then at the end of the video, I'm gonna show you guys in game how to actually do a grapple jump effectively in an actual match against an actual team. It is very important to get the placement of your grapple correctly. To get the most distance and the most speed from your grapple jump, you're gonna wanna shoot your grapple at the farthest distance on the ground as it'll let you go. Sort of think of this as kind of like a slingshot. The farther back you pull a slingshot, the faster and the farther the thing that you're shooting is gonna go. Eventually, it's just gonna become second nature and you're gonna know exactly what angle you're gonna need to shoot at in order to reach the farthest distance. But at first, this is how you kind of get the feeling of where it should be. As Pathfinder, if you have your tactical, obviously you probably know already, if you have your grapple available, then around your center dot, you're gonna have these little line segments circling it. And when it becomes blue, that is when the grapple is going to be able to attach to whatever you're looking at. If it's not blue and it's like gray, it means that whatever you're looking at is too far and the grapple will not reach. So what you're gonna wanna do to find the furthest distance on the ground is you're gonna kinda wanna wiggle your POV until you find the point where it turns blue and white. If you go a little bit under that, that's going to be where you're going to want to shoot your grapple. Okay, so that's step number one. It's super easy, just finding where you need to place your grapple. That's very important though. Now for step number two, to actually slingshot yourself and launch yourself in the direction that you're trying to go to, you need to implement a jump, and the timing of the jump is pretty important. Okay, without the jump, this is what's going to happen if you grapple onto the floor. Okay, really nothing. Even if you slide at the end, you're not going anywhere compared to if you actually add the jump. Now the timing of the jump is actually a little bit more lenient than you think it is. A lot of people out there will say you have to jump at the moment that the grapple hits the ground. What you don't want to do is you do not want to jump before the grapple hits the ground, okay? Because then that's what's going to happen. You're just going to go up and it's going to launch you straight forward. So if you notice that this is what's happening when you try to grapple, it's because you're jumping too early. Now what you are shooting for is to jump when the grapple hits the ground, but you can actually jump a little bit after the grapple hits the ground and it should work. Let me show you. Okay, that was me jumping a little bit after the grapple hits the ground. Now, one of the reasons I showed you guys where to place your grapple at what distance is because not only will it shoot you farther and faster, but keeping at a consistent distance, you will start to get that timing better. And I can also show you the timing and exactly when to jump compared to when you shoot. So I'm gonna do it again and I'm gonna count for you guys when you should jump compared to when you shoot the grapple. So on 1 is when I shoot the grapple and whatever number I land on is when I jump. 1, 2, it really is just 1 second, exactly 1 second. You're gonna go 1, 2, okay? And on 2, you're gonna jump. So try to keep that rhythm in your head, 1, 2. And again, that is only going to be the exact rhythm if you have the distance that I showed you. So again, 1, 2. All right, so that is step number 2. That is getting the jump timing correctly. But there's actually a way that you can make this even better. Just like I said earlier, the farther you are from the point that you're grappling to, the farther and the faster you will go. Knowing this, we can give us even a little bit more distance than what we gave ourselves, okay? So in between the point where we shoot the grapple and the point where the grapple hits the ground, we want to actually backtrack a little bit with Pathfinder, okay? We want to move backwards. This gives us just a little bit more momentum and a little bit more speed, and this is what it's going to look like, okay? So again, one more time. There you go. And I didn't slide for some reason. But you get the point, and that is the basics of how to do the grapple jump. Now, that's not where it ends though, okay? You need to understand that if you press B at any point during the grapple jump, you can cancel the grapple. So for example, I don't want to go 1,000 feet away, right? Maybe I just want to go to the ledge. I'm still going to go at the farthest point so I can get that distance as fast as possible. So at that point, I'm still shooting it, but then I'm pressing B early so I can just get onto the ledge and that's it. I don't want to go flying across the entire thing. Okay, so you need to also kind of remember that you will need to adjust when to let go of your grapple depending on what you need to do. That being said, that example that I just gave you, like the climbing up a ledge, that is going to be one of the only examples, or at least pretty much the most useful example of when you actually don't want to go as far as possible. Because if you're right next to it, you can actually grapple on this ledge very quickly, which is very useful. But again, that timing is going to be a little different for you guys. I don't really know how to explain this timing. It's really fast. You're just gonna need to mess with it and you'll get it, don't worry. Again, that window is a little bit longer than you realize it is, okay? So that mechanic right there, it doesn't seem like a lot, but trust me, when you have somebody up here and they're expecting you to climb up like this, they are not expecting you to to just jump up like this and be able to shoot them directly, okay? Now I'm gonna show you some in-game examples of when and how to use a grapple jump. Now what people probably care more about, and it can be a little bit more complicated to do, is to use a grapple jump to push and to get knocks and kills. So the most common way to use a grapple jump in a fight is you want to wait until you crack or you hear your teammate crack. It's very important to listen to not only what your teammates are saying, but even if they don't have a mic, the legend that they are playing are going to give you a voice line whenever they do crack another legend.
Broke that enemy shield.
And it's very important that you understand that their teammates aren't just looking at you, because at that point, you can just put yourself in a horrible position and die yourself. So from there, all you want to do is execute that grapple jump as fast as possible, okay? A lot of people hesitate, and that is where you're going to mess up. The hesitation is what's messing you up, not because you're not doing the grapple jump correctly. The second you get that crack or hear that crack, you need to go ahead and start doing that grapple jump, because you know yourself that the person that you are fighting is going to go and try to heal. So just jump on their head and get that knock. The second way to use a grapple jump in a fight is actually the opposite. If you go and you push in by foot, let's say you're just super confident that you're just gonna outgun the shit out of this guy. This is most useful if you see that one person is split from his teammates. It doesn't matter if they're cracked or not, but you just know, you have a feeling that you are going to be able to knock this guy. You can go by foot. You can split yourself a little bit from your teammates. Go knock this guy and then use your grapple jump to get back with your team. This is another very, very potent way of swaying the fight into your favor. And this last one is the most dangerous one, okay? And this only works if you are using the down and away upgrade, the purple upgrade that gives you the refresh on a knock. Basically, what you can do at this point is combine the two ways you can use it into one way. If you feel confident that you can knock somebody on the other team, and in the previous one, you kind of went by foot and you had to make sure that they were a little split. Using this, you don't really have to wait for them to be split. If you know for a fact that you are going to knock whoever you are going for, you can use your super jump in. Once you knock them, it will give you your tack again, and then you can super jump again out back to your team. This is why a lot of super aggressive Pathfinders will go for this upgrade, because it allows them to be consistently and constantly aggressive at all times. To be honest, if you have a Pathfinder that thinks he's cracked, but he's actually butt cheeks buns horrible, then it's kind of annoying, but it's okay. It's all right. They're learning. That's all I had for you guys. I hope you guys liked the video. I hope you guys learned how to grapple jump correctly. If I did help you out, think about leaving a like on the video. Think about subscribing to the channel. It helps me a lot. If you want to know my top 5 tips to correctly play Pathfinder, click on this video right over here. And other than that, man, I'll see you guys in the next video.